Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you are having a great week. Welcome you all for yet another English lecture. Today's lecture comprises two topics. The first one is unit number 9, all is not lost. And the second one, active and passive voice. We cover continuous tenses in today's lesson. As there is no passive voice of future continuous, so we are left with only past and present continuous tenses. Previously, we have done passive voice of indefinite tenses. A quick recap today. Voice is that form of a verb which shows whether the subject does something or has something done to it. Examples. Number 1. He paints the house. It's active voice sentence as the subject has done something here. Number 2. The house is painted by him. It is passive voice as something has done to the subject. Let's quickly revise steps of conversion. Number 1. We switch subject to object and object to subject. Number 2. We use be form of the tense along with the past participle, which is third form of verb. And number 3, by preposition is used before writing the subject at the end. We are already familiar with the pronoun conversion when converting active to passive. So, according to that, we convert they into them, he into him, she into her, we into us. You, it, and name remain the same. Let's focus on structure for better understanding. Present continuous tense, affirmatives. Structure of the active sentence. Subject plus is or am or are plus present participle, that is fourth form of verb, plus object. Example, they are buying this house. Structure of the passive sentence. Object plus is, am, are plus being plus past participle, which is third form of verb, plus by and plus subject. Let's convert the same sentence. This house is being bought by them. Structure of the affirmatives, past continuous tense. Instead of is, am, are in active sentence, now we use was and were. Let's see. Subject plus was or were plus present participle, that is fourth form of verb again, and plus object. Let's see an example. She was teaching all the siblings. Passive structure. Object plus was or were plus being plus past participle, third form of verb, plus by, and at the end, subject. Let's convert the same sentence. All the siblings were being taught by her. We change the helping verb as now our subject is plural. Then we use third form of teach, that is taught, and then object pronoun her after preposition by. Structure of negative sentences. Let's start from present continuous tense. In negative sentences, both active and passive, we just have to add not in the sentence after the helping verb. Have a look at the example quickly. Active structure. Subject plus is, am, are plus not plus present participle plus object. Example, they are not playing football. With the addition of not, passive structure is object plus is, am, are plus not plus being plus past participle plus by plus subject. Let's convert the same sentence. Football is not being played by them. Now the structure of the negative sentences of past continuous tense. Just with the addition of not, rest of the structure is the same. Let's see. subject plus was or were plus not plus present participle plus object. Example, David was not watching a movie. With the addition of not, passive structure is object plus was or were plus not plus being plus past participle and plus by and then subject. A movie was not being watched by David. In interrogatives, we put helping verbs in the beginning in active and passive both sentences and place a question mark at the end. Let's check structures and examples of both tenses, present and then past. Is, am, are plus subject plus present participle plus object. Example, am I writing articles? Passive structure, is, am, are plus object plus being plus past participle plus by plus subject. We have converted the same sentence and it becomes are articles being written by me. Past continuous interrogatives, active structure again, was over plus subject plus present participle plus object. Example, was Jack learning Spanish? Was over plus object plus being plus past participle plus by plus subject. The same sentence, passive voices, was Spanish being learned by Jack? Now let's use comparison as a tool to understand the concept clearly. A comparison of affirmative sentences of all continuous tenses. Present continuous, active voice, now I am ironing new clothes. Passive voice, now new clothes are being ironed by me. Past continuous, he was drawing a picture. Passive voice, a picture was being drawn by him. Future continuous, the servant will be dusting the room. There is no passive voice of future continuous. Usually adverbs are placed after verbs, but if it is a phrase, at the end. Time adverbs may come in the beginning or at the end as well. Negative sentences. Present continuous tense. Now I am not ironing new clothes. Active voice. Now new clothes are not being ironed by me. That is passive voice. Past continuous tense. He was not drawing a picture. A picture was not being drawn by him. Future continuous. The servant will not be dusting the room. And there is no passive voice of future continuous. Interrogatives. Present continuous tense. Am I ironing new clothes? Active voice. And are new clothes being ironed by me? Passive voice. Past continuous tense. Active voices. Was he drawing a picture? Passive voice. Was a picture being drawn by him? Future continuous. Will the servant be dusting the room? And then there is no passive voice of future continuous interrogatives. Our second topic is explanation of unit number 9, All is not lost. It revolves around the profession of nursing, which is underrated in Pakistan. We do not value it the way we value some other professions. The writer highlights the importance of nursing profession through the characters of Rahila, a nurse, and Hira, a patient. Sincere efforts of Rahila saves Hira from a near crippling stage. How? Let's find out. It was the beginning of my profession as a nurse. I worked in the intensive care unit ICU of neurology ward. As a young professional, I wished to save the world. I was excited to see patients making quick recoveries from devastating. I was paid to nurse those who were stuck with acute neurological accidents yet disorders. Paragraph number 2. One day, standing at the bedside of a young bus accident victim, I wondered if she could make the same recovery as others. Hira had received severe head and spinal injuries as she was hit by a speeding bus while crossing a busy road. I took her lifeless arms in my hands and tried to do several exercises on her, but in vain. Also, I made her young sister come and talk to her, thinking that the voice of a near and dear one might activate the nearly dead neurons. She could see but not talk. Her eyes showed a certain helplessness. I could hear her mind through her eyes. Perhaps she wanted to say, "Please help me." The phrase near and dear ones mean very close in relationships. Paragraph number 3. A fellow nurse came near me and asked, "Rahila, what are you doing? Fighting a lost battle?" I was shocked at first to hear a colleague making a hopeless comment. Then I replied, "I am trying to make her brain process her sister's voice. Also, I am doing my best to ensure that her arms and legs get proper exercise. This might help her walk like a normal person." Meanwhile, a senior doctor on duty walked in and gave me an ironic smile and said, "If you spend most of your duty hours on one patient, we will have to recruit more nurses to attend to other patients. Please go and see other patients. We do not have much hope for her. I don't think that she can ever walk again." The phrase "fighting a lost battle" means least chances of success, and recruit mean employ. Paragraph number 4. I was upset. The advice to leave the patient unattended did not seem right. I knew that she had suffered from major neural damage, but she needed to be given a chance. An inner voice somewhere within me spoke, "Try once for her." I went to the senior nurse and told her that I wanted to help this patient and for work with her more closely. The senior nurse looked at me with utter surprise and remarked that she had orders from the doctor in charge to shift her to the general ward. The doctors thought that she was a hopeless case and the bed must be spared for other patients. I was shocked to hear this. Paragraph number 6. I continued to work on Hira, but she was not making much recovery. I felt as helpless as she to see her lie on bed in a miserable state. Could I be able to justify my stance before the senior doctors? I did not lose hope. I continued to work with patients and kept doing exercises with her. Gradually, I could see her making a small recovery. One day, I was thrilled to see her lift her little finger. All was not lost. Justify my stance means prove myself right. I was sent on a 3-month training course to Karachi. I made all possible attempts to leave my patient in good hands. I returned after 3 months to see my patient's bed taken up by another. My feet froze to the ground. I did not have the courage to ask, "What happened?" As I stood near the bed with severe questions popping in my mind, I felt a gentle pat on my shoulder. Popping in my mind means appearing in my mind. Paragraph number 8. Still, until her family came around with big smiles on their faces. Thanks to Allah, she was my patient, standing and walking on her own feet. I could not recognize her without the machinery and tubes around her body. She walked on crutches, which she would leave in a few months. I was so glad that I had done those exercises on her to keep her limbs in motion. I was glad that my efforts bore fruit, but most of all, I was happy that Allah Almighty had helped me win a lost battle. Paragraph number 10. She and her family had entered into a considerable bond of friendship with me. I was humbled by their sense of gratitude towards me. I felt a sense of renewed strength in me. Where there is a will, there is a way. I was proud to be a nurse. The topics of today, Unit number 9, All is Not Lost, and active and passive voice of continuous tenses. I hope you have understood both the topics well.